Take care of yourself and you gon' find yourself
standing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And the world's gonna know your name.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. The first thought, whenever I think of that year, it was the champions football game, and I talked to some people, and nobody really has a clear memory, but the memory I remember is we were on the bus, and Mr. Bridgens came down the aisle and he handed us each a yellow rose, and he said, I just want to tell you, I don't care if you win or lose, but I want you to take time to smell the roses. And that thought has so often come to me over the years. You know, when really nice things are happening, and we can get caught up in the work of it. This is, slow down, take time to smell the roses, and tonight smelled really good.
Again, welcome to tonight. For a lot of you that were here for your first time, welcome. For some of you, welcome back. And for a lot of you, welcome home.
Pat goes with the sophomores. And I looked at him and I said, hey, you're supposed to be over here with the seniors. He said, no, Coach, I'm only a sophomore. I looked at Hank Cobb's desk and I said, is that true? He said, yeah, Pat's only a sophomore. I said, oh my gosh. I just started salivating right there and I said, I'm going to have this kid for 3 years. Man.
All schools I taught at, my most favorite was the 5 years that I spent here.
He put me in a race 100-yard dash, and I'm running down the field, and I'm running neck and neck with this other person. He's a little bit ahead, and I'm a little bit ahead. He's a little bit ahead, I'm a little bit ahead. He's a little bit ahead, and I thought, no, I'm never going to make this. Well, Mr. Aldridge is across the track, and I didn't know he was even watching. But all of a sudden you heard, run, Ricky, run! And that's all it took. A coach who cared enough to holler clear across the field. We've been blessed with coaches like that. Mr. Logston in particular has been like a second father.
About 3 or 4 days later, Randy Wagner called me and said, Coach Craigthorpe wants to offer Pat a full ride to Oregon State. And that's how he became a Beaver. So, and the rest is history there too. You can see what all he did for Oregon State.
First of all, I'll clarify something about what Tom said when I lost yardage at North Marion once. Growing up in North Marion, it's one of the special things I think about it is you go from first grade through high school with a lot of the same kids. There were 60-something that I grew up with. 2 of which were Bob Christie and Matt Beiser. Our senior year, Matt is the left tackle and Bob is the left guard. And we had a play where I lined up at right halfback and it was a cross block. And Matt and Bob would do a cross block action. And I would run across that side through the hole they were going to open. Well, there was a line call for whatever reason. These geniuses decided that they would have a line call. And I think the story goes that Bob was supposed to make the call. And it was either you or me. Strategic, me or you, right? So Jeff Fowler's calling the cadence, and just before Hut, Bob apparently says me or you. That we're not quite sure which he said, but they kind of did a dance together and hit each other because they both tried to go at the same time, and their guys came unblocked and just murdered me in the backfield. And I got up and had some choice words for 2 of my best friends. So
They all were great. As I recall, it was so extremely unusual to qualify that many kids, and so extremely unusual for every one of them to score. And the whole thing was phenomenal.
What you're providing here, I am most appreciative of, because it was provided for me. Not in the formal sense like you're doing here, but with all the friends gathered round, and there's not too many of us left, but you're going to share years and years of good times and good memories, and you're going to help the students that come into this school believe in themselves because you care, because you believe in them.
And in those days, that would have been 44 points. And we won going away. We had well over 100 points. We won going away, and I don't doubt that we could have won that meet. And not only that, he was not a great basketball player. But if I wanted something to happen on the floor, I'd send him in.
I've coached a lot of really great football players in 35 years of being a football coach. And I want to say that Pat Shafee ranks #1 in my book, not only for being a great football player, but for being a great person and great in academics.
That's the kind of tenacity and stick to it that North Marion athletes are known for. And I can see from all I've seen, you guys haven't slowed up a bit. So keep up this good work, believe in them, and they'll begin to believe in you. Help them, have confidence and care for them, and they'll rise to almost any occasion. And with your support, they'll surely be the best they can be.
Don't let go. Hold on to every moment. Always know. Hold on to every moment that you can. Leads us through all these days, 'cause they slip away through our fingers. So don't let go. Hold on to every moment. Always know. Hold on to every moment that you
Yourself
can.
and you gon' find yourself.
Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you found
Second annual North Marion Athletic Hall of Fame was held Saturday night at North Marion. The event turned out to be very successful, not only bringing friends together, but recognizing several of the major athletes of the past in Husky athletics. We're going to show you a quick clip of each of the new inductees. Boyd Brown was an outstanding track and field member who threw with a missing thumb. He is currently a member of the University of Oregon Hall of Fame and a graduate of Hubbard High School. Taking the award for his late father was Boyd's son, Eric Brown. Al Barnsey was key in pushing for the girls' athletics at North Marion. The park in Hubbard is named after him and his major role in bringing female athletics not only to North Marion but to the state of Oregon. Al's grandson accepted the award for him as he is deceased.
We are truly honored that my grandfather, Al Barnsey, is recognized. I have many memories of him, and mostly just of service. He was completely a man of service and someone who always looked for an opportunity to serve.
Keith Driver was an outstanding athlete during his time at North Marion. He was best known for his skills in basketball and football. He was a quarterback for the football team and a guard for the basketball team. Keith also played baseball and was involved with several other groups around the school.
And we were to play our final football game under the lights, and we were all excited about that. That was one of the new things for us at that time.
Ken Lambert was a four-sport athlete at North Marion. He played football, ran cross country, wrestled, and he was on the track and field team. Ken earned state championships in both cross country and wrestling.
My father, and I know he'd be very proud to accept this award. Thank you so much.
Carrie Knopp was an outstanding swimmer for the Huskies. Carrie finished high in many state championship races and put North Marion's swim program on the map.
So I do remember that first day when he made me swim breaststroke and he told me how horrible it was. But I also remember too thinking, wow, I'm loving this. I like this style. I like the people that I'm swimming with. So it just kind of got better and better from there.
Junior Sato was a successful basketball and baseball coach for North Marion. Coming to North Marion looking for just the basketball job, Junior ended up being handed the basketball and baseball positions. When all is said and done, he is better known for his baseball career than his basketball one, as he led the Huskies to the 1971 state championship and recorded over 350 wins in his coaching career.
At the top it says 1978 baseball rules. And rule number 1 was the coach is always right. Okay? Rule number 2 was if you think coach is Wong, W-O-N-G, refer back to rule number 1. Open up the game against Gladstone, and we jump out in the first quarter to a 20-9 lead against the number 1 team in the state. Horn sounds, we go over to the bench. Junior meets us and he says, "Remember that plan I had?" And, yeah, he says, "We're not going to do that anymore."
And the 1971 state championship baseball team rounded out the class of the 2011 inductions. Coach Junior Sato predicted it would be a strong season for the Huskies, and his prediction obviously turned out to be true. The Huskies clinched the Capital Conference title by defeating the Cascade Cougars. North Marion then went on to beat Junction City, who was favorite to win the title. The Huskies also destroyed Madras 11-0 during their playoff run, before reaching the state championship game at what is now Geldwin Field in Portland. The Huskies, behind their pitcher Gary Hopkins, no-hit the Sherwood Bowmen to take a 3-0 win and the 1971 title.
Then he struck him out. So Mark Brush has to get things going here for Sherwood, as the Huskies are only 1 out away from winning the AA state title here. If I might add, Hopkins has become more and more effective as this game goes along. He hasn't walked a man since I believe it was the 2nd inning. Swung on him, strike 1, as Mark Bush has a ripple at it. Here's a 0-1 pitch. There's a ball hit to the first baseman who gloves it, going away for the 3rd out. And the North Marion fans come over the stadium wall, and the players go out to hug their pitcher Hopkins, who just pitched a no-hitter. A no-hitter for Hopkins, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left.
To sum it up, it was a great night to honor and recognize several great athletes from the school and bring old friends together.
Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world